India's inward focus. Examining key domestic challenges in depth. India's trajectory as a rising global power has been shaped by its domestic challenges, many of which require urgent policy attention. While India continues to engage internationally, its internal economic, social, and political complexities have led to an increasingly inward focus. This article delves deeper into these domestic challenges, exploring their roots, implications, and the broader shifts shaping India's governance and development. 1. Economic reforms and structural constraints. 1.1 Slowing growth and inflationary pressures. India's economy has experienced volatile growth patterns, with post-pandemic recovery facing multiple hurdles. Inflation and interest rates. Rising inflation, particularly in food and fuel prices, has led to aggressive monetary tightening by the Reserve Bank of India, RBI. Unemployment and jobless growth. The economy has grown, but employment generation, particularly in the formal sector, has lagged. The shift towards automation and digitalization further complicates this challenge. Informal sector struggles. The informal economy, which employs a large portion of India's workforce, continues to grapple with liquidity constraints and weak consumer demand.
Atmanirbhar Bharat. Self-reliance vs. protectionism. India's push for self-reliance under the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative aims to reduce dependency on imports and promote local industries. While this boosts domestic manufacturing, it also raises concerns. Protectionist measures, tariff hikes on electronics, textiles, and other goods have led to trade tensions, particularly with Western economies. Lack of global competitiveness. Despite policy support, Indian manufacturing struggles with efficiency, innovation, and global competitiveness against China and Southeast Asian economies. Agricultural reforms and rural distress. Agriculture remains the backbone of India's economy, but structural inefficiencies persist. Land fragmentation and productivity gaps. Small land holdings reduce economies of scale, affecting productivity and farmer incomes. Policy reversals and farmer protests. The government's rollback of contentious farm laws following large-scale protests signals the difficulty in implementing reforms. Climate change and water scarcity. Erratic monsoons, depleting groundwater levels, and soil degradation are emerging threats to food security. Social and political tensions. Rising communal and caste-based divides. India's social fabric has been under strain due to increasing polarization. Religious and communal tensions, debates over identity politics, the Citizenship Amendment Act (CAA), and religious conversions have deepened social fault lines. Caste conflicts and reservation debates. Affirmative action policies remain a contentious issue, with demands for caste-based reservations intensifying across different communities. Federalism and state-center conflicts. India's governance structure is facing stress from rising state versus center tensions. Tax revenue disputes. State governments have frequently clashed with the central government over revenue-sharing mechanisms, particularly in the wake of GST reforms. Regional political clashes. Differences in governance models, whether in economic policies, education, or law and order, have heightened political friction between opposition-led states and the central leadership. Infrastructure and urbanization challenges. Urban growth and housing crisis. India's rapid urbanization has led to significant challenges in city planning. Housing shortages and slums. Despite policies like May Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, affordable housing remains out of reach for millions. Traffic and pollution. Metro cities such as Delhi, Mumbai, and Bengaluru suffer from extreme congestion and poor air quality, affecting public health and productivity. Power and energy transition. India's energy needs are growing, but the transition to sustainable sources faces hurdles. Coal dependency. Despite renewable energy expansion, coal remains India's primary energy source due to reliability and cost-effectiveness. Solar and wind challenges. Land acquisition, high storage costs, and inconsistent policy incentives have slowed India's renewable energy adoption. National security and border issues. India-China border standoff. Tensions along the line of actual control remain unresolved, with India focusing on military modernization. infrastructure build-up in border regions, strategic road and tunnel projects in Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh aim to counter China's advances. Quad and Indo-Pacific strategy. India's participation in the Quad alliance with the US, Japan, and Australia signals a shift towards counterbalancing China's regional influence. Internal security and insurgencies. Despite economic progress, India faces persistent security challenges. Naxalite insurgency, left-wing extremism, particularly in central India, continues to threaten rural stability. Cybersecurity and digital warfare. Rising cyber threats from hostile nations and organized hacking groups have prompted the government to strengthen cybersecurity frameworks, technology and digital transformation. Digital economy and data privacy. The rapid digitization of services has led to new regulatory challenges. Personal Data Protection Bill (PDPB). India is still navigating the balance between privacy rights and surveillance concerns. Regulation of big tech. Government crackdowns on global tech firms over taxation, content moderation, and data storage are reshaping India's digital policy, AI, automation, and workforce readiness. India's vast workforce faces an uncertain future due to rapid automation. Job disruptions in IT and manufacturing. AI-driven automation threatens traditional employment in BPOs, manufacturing, and even creative industries. Skill gaps. India's education system is struggling to equip workers with skills for emerging industries like robotics, AI, and biotech. Conclusion: the road ahead for India. While India continues to be an active player on the global stage, its inward focus is driven by pressing domestic imperatives. Economic restructuring, social stability, and governance challenges demand urgent policy interventions. Balancing growth with inclusivity, modernizing infrastructure, and managing geopolitical risks will define India's trajectory in the coming years. Would you like a deeper analysis on any specific section?